Mark Kimmitt. He is the former U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for the Middle East, and he joins us now, of course, from Washington. Hi there. I'll put it this way. I got to ask why you're smiling. You were listening to Reza's answer there. What did you find possibly slightly humorous in that?
Well, I think we've got to understand that Iran is conducting a portfolio of threats in the region. As Courtney said, they're working malign activities, as seen most recently by Foreign Minister Zarif going to see President Assad in Syria. We are concerned about the other M, which is the missile launch, which was a clear demonstration of their capability not only to fire local ballistic missiles, but intercontinental ballistic missiles. And again, with what we're seeing inside the Gulf, we have a great danger of miscalculation, as demonstrated by the president's tweet. Those knuckleheads that are driving around in those speedboats, if they get too close to the American ships, the Americans will see that as a provocative act and as a threat to their own defense. And as a result, they're going to have to shoot at them, whether they want to or not, to protect themselves, protect their crews, to protect their ships. So this laughable assertion that this was a Hollywood game, it's captured on film, time, date stamped on film. So I'm reminded of that old saying, who are you going to believe? Me and what I say, or what I see with my lying eyes? So this is a continued pattern of Iran to create tensions in the Gulf through their missiles, through potential miscalculation, and through their malign activities. And if there's a Hollywood script to be played, it's being played out by Iran.
Okay, still though, there has to be, a partner on the other side in order for this to continue to escalate. And we just heard, Trump's tweet commanding U.S. Navy ships to fire at any Iranian vessel that's seen as harassing U.S. Navy ships. Are we potentially in that looking at a spark, that could light a wider fire and escalate this, to warlike conditions? We've come close in the past year, and it's frightful now that this could actually get even further, I want to say, out of hand.
Well, again, as I said, the greatest danger inside the Gulf in international waters, there's no right to defend your land in international waters. The greatest concern has always been miscalculation, that one side or the other misunderstands the intentions of the other side. When President Trump has done is set down a clear red line, and so the Iranians can either honor that red line and not get close to the ships and possibly be fired on, or they can intentionally get near the ships and harass them, for which they know what the consequences will now be. So I actually see this as a stabilizing statement rather than as a provocative statement coming from the United States.
Okay, let us look quickly at a different context, if we can. With this pandemic, being compared to some of the worst times in our history, not least the Great Depression and World War II, do you worry that leaders, looking for scapegoats, in a sense, could bring about very dangerous confrontations?
Well, I think that may be what's happening in the Middle East right now, and I think that's exactly why we see missiles being launched, speedboats attacking American ships, and foreign ministers visiting butchers in Damascus. So we remain restrained, we remain concerned, but at the same time, we remain prepared to defend our soldiers, defend our sailors, our ships, and our defensive positions inside of international waters. So people can try to take advantage of it. That's certainly not the case in the United States.
Okay, Mark Kimmitt, we'll leave it there. Thanks as always for joining us from Washington.